Well, hello out there, all of my favorite vault dwellers and West Virginia residents. And I suppose I have to give a hello to my Ohio resident neighbors too, but I don't want to because it's Ohio and I see it every day and I don't want to. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Josh. Welcome to another episode of Dead Men Streaming for March 17th, 2026. Look, before we get started, you've almost made it through spring. You can Yeah, you've almost made it through spring. You really have. And then you've almost made it through winter. Spring is literally within another couple of days. And despite the fact that there's half a foot of snow on the ground as I record this, you made it through the worst of winter. And I'm proud of you. Don't know who needs to hear that, but if you do, there you go, because sometimes I do. Now, I am currently standing directly outside of Shining Creek Cavern down in Skyline Valley. And before I show you what's ahead, I want to give you a quick note. This does contain a small spoiler if you haven't progressed in the Skyline Valley quest series yet. This will take me like 4 minutes, so skip ahead 4 minutes. All right, one of the challenges this week is going to be, love it or hate it, weekly challenge, kill a lost. Now, if you've advanced through the Skyline Valley main quest, pop into Shining Creek Cavern. I'll show you where to go. If you haven't, pop into Dark Hollow Manor, and outside of here there are a number of lost. Pop over to Slumber Mill Motel. Outside of here there are a number of lost. Take a peek at Research Site Saxony. You can find some there. And Bavaria. You can usually find some there. Or keep an watch for Dangerous Pastimes at Thunder Mountain Substation. Now you only need to fry 12 of these poor little saps. So we'll start with that. And I am going to show you exactly what I mean on this because this is something that I forget on a regular. You can pick up 3 of them right outside this cave. But if you go into Shining Creek Cavern, you can backtrack a little bit once you've gotten through this point of the Skyline Valley questline. Normally I wouldn't show spoilers, but guys, let's be real. This game has been out with this expansion for what, 2 years now? So sorry. So sorry. All right, so pop into Shiny Creek from this end and get a flashlight out. You'll probably want one. Now, if you look, first, you're going to find something I haven't told you is a good place to find them. Rad scorpions right in here in an instance location, just so you know, if you've been having trouble picking them up out in the world. And not there. It's not too overly hard to find. So do those come in, fight those red scorpions, jump up. If you have progressed, you can unlock this gate key. Unlock that gate with a key you get. Come through here. You'll have some cave crickets to deal with. Another insect location. If you pop over here, find like headwear, some food, small cap stash. You know, basic stuff. Springs, screws. Keep coming up through here. Over here with all the Vault-Tec stuff. And enter the Vault 63 Organic Sector. Why are we entering Vault 63 Organic Sector? Because Vault 63 is loaded in Lost. It is absolutely packed full of them, and you'll be able to fight your way through, pick up however many you need any given week in literally just a matter of a minute or two. So, with that in mind, let me show you where I'm at. And you probably recognize this by now if you've done this to this extent. Just swing up, and all the lost that you need. Some in this room, some in the adjoining rooms. If you put up with their screaming. These are the one creature types that I feel the absolute worst for out of everybody in 76. They have nothing but my pity. All right, so let's talk about the other challenges for the week. Now that you know where to go for Lost, go to Shiny Creek Cavern, go past the red scorpions, go through the locked gate, deal with crickets, and then enter the Vault 63 organic sector for all of the loss that you will ever need. Moving on from that, build a decoration in a shelter. Okay, that one's straightforward. Go to a shelter that you own and put 15 things in it. Collect a lighter, cigarette, or cigar. This, combined with scrap junk to produce gold, is going to tell me to send you to two different, maybe three different locations. So let's pay some attention here. If you visit, not that I can get to it now, if you visit drop site V9 and go inside, you can find a computer panel. It's got a bunch of cigarettes and cigarette cartons and everything else on there, and that should be more than enough to take care of you. Or pop up to the White Springs station. Look for the medical supplies vending machine. That, in fact, any of the stations, but that usually has cigarettes available. However, if you go to White Springs Station, you can also find the vendor who sells a lot of scrap items, including gold items that are very easy to scrap. Now, Josh, what if they've already been bought? You're on a public server. Go to I almost get this confused. Go to the White Spring North entrance, go down into the White Spring Mall, and shop around the vendors down there. You should be able to buy enough small gold junk items to take care of your needs. Now, if you don't actually want to do that, my next recommendation is to pop over to someplace like the White Spring Golf Club or down to Appalachian Antiques or over to RNG processing services. Basically, any place you can find a large number of ghouls. Ghouls do have a tendency to drop gold related items. Something to keep in mind. Moving on from that one, we also need to complete daily operations on a public team. Okay, this one's straightforward. Do DOs. Now, with the recent changes to public events, and with the recent-ish addition of bounties and headhunts, daily operations for me no longer matter. There's something I do when I'm super bored. You can get more legendaries and faster EXP doing grunt hunts and headhunts. You can always get more EXP if you do an expedition, which you also don't need to do anymore. And you can get a vast you can get more legendaries any given time. Now, if you don't have all the plans from daily operations you might want, they're still worth doing. But for me, not so much. All right, craft any plushie at a tinkerer's bench. Okay, that's easy enough to do. Just go to a tinkerer's bench. You know. All right. Drink tea, 0 out of 5. My preference is always to drink company tea. Whenever you see that in the item shop, you use the items you get from the scoreboard to buy that thing. Straight up. Like, it is a game changer. It is a wonderful piece of tea. Otherwise, if you don't have any tea or tea related material, head up to Toxic Valley. If you scoot around outside of Clarksburg, and between Woods Estate, Clarksburg, south of 96 here on the map, find a bunch of soot flowers. They make perfect tea, and you can just chug it that way. You only need a down 5, so it shouldn't be that hard. Ferns and other things do it as well. All right, kill a rust raider. As I just mentioned, head hunts and grunt hunts are going to be the best places to go get your rust raider fix in. Otherwise, if you really want to get 30 in one go, pop down into the Rust Kingdom. You'll find more than enough there. But Rust Raiders are literally all over this area. Hopewell Apiary's got a bunch. Chop Shop's got a bunch. Fort Steuben has got a ton. Sandfork Lumber, Chemical Power Substation has 3 or 4. Not so much at the Railroad Service Yard. You can find a handful of ghouls here. Meadow Breach Storage Depot has got some Rust Raiders, I believe. Basically, the only places that don't, off the top of my head, are Ash Cave. They're not technically Rust Raiders. Athens doesn't. Dino Peaks doesn't. And honestly, that feels like it's just about the only places that don't. Oh, World of Corn doesn't usually. Um, Everywhere else you can find them. So, not a big deal. Okay, we've discussed scrapping junk to produce gold. Now, scrapping junk to produce screws. For the life of me, I cannot remember if you can make bulk screws in 76. But I'm pretty sure that you can buy them from the White Spring Mall vendors or some of the train station vendors. The first one to check would be, of course, at the White Spring station. Otherwise, the main source of screws you're going to look for are fans. Just these, the standard little desk fans that pop up everywhere. You can get a screw out of these. Another great source, weirdly enough, for screws, sometimes the Sultrons. Their heads have screws in them. I'm not asking. Um, Outside of that, so if you're looking for fans, my suggestion would be to pop into some place like Robco Research Center and just go nuts in the office. You should find a bunch of fans in there. You can usually find fans at the nuclear silos as well. But do check, just to make your life easier, for bulk screws at places like White Springs Station. All right. Now, that is honestly, that is. Oh, antique globes too, while I think of it. All right. And again, those are just, they're everywhere, but they're not everywhere. Fans are going to be your way to go. If you struggle on that one, I would re-roll it myself, but you shouldn't struggle on it too hard. Okay, let's talk about our daily challenges. Build a turret, a trap, in a workshop or camp. That's straightforward. Complete a daily operation. Also straightforward. Consume an alcoholic beverage. Uh, what can I say? Beer is everywhere in this game. Beer, spirits, the whole nine yards. Craft any chems. That's something you do at a chemistry station, which you should have in your camp by now. Craft or scrap a melee weapon. Okay, another camp thing. So on this one's great. So one, two, three, four different things that can be handled in your camp for the daily challenge today. Kill a canine. You need five, and kill a cryptid. So dogs spawn in a wide variety of places. My personal suggestion is to pop into West Tech Research Center. You can find more than five mutant hounds inside West Tech itself. You can find 5 to 6 outside of West Tech. You got a 2 or 3 in the main yard, and then 2 or 3 more behind the center if you go off on the right. That said, sometimes they're not always there, so another decent location to look is Huntersville. You can pick up, I think, 4, maybe 5 mutant hounds in Huntersville. You can pick up a small number of them up at Sylvie and Sons logging camp. And finally, you can pick some up between the Wayward and down here in Flatwood. So you get a trio that'll spawn through here, plus the leader of the pack activity, which spawns up in here. Um, you can also find a decent chunk of them up around Ehrenhelt Homestead. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. Those are the reliable places to find dogs. Now, they share a lot of the same spawn rates as like insects and mole rats and stuff. So if you don't find them there, I mean, it's sort of hit and miss, but you should be able to find them there without too much of a headache. Now, as far as killing a cryptid goes, well, this week still continues the Invaders from Beyond event, but if you're catching this video after that event's over, my go-to place every single time is Toxic Larry's Meet and Go. As soon as you pour it in, you'll have 3 Snallygasters just standing right there waiting for you to do something with them. I suggest killing them. That's that's kind of about the only suggestion I have. They are not friendly. Do not pet the Snallygaster. If you can't find Snallygasters there, you can find a bunch of them down at Flooded Train Yard. They do count as your cryptid kill. Now, with all that said, that is it for the daily and weekly challenges for this week. Now, some good news. If you were watching this video before you boot up, they supposedly fixed a couple of really annoying bugs, including the Fallout First survival tent bug where it was unequipping it every single time. So keep that in mind. So, really quick, one more rundown. Build a decoration in a shelter. Collect a lighter, cigarette, or cigar. Again, drop site V9. Or your favorite ghoul section should have a ton of them. Also, you can find them in medical supplies vending machines at any of the train stations in the map. Daily operations. Don't forget to create a public team. Doesn't matter if anybody joins you, as long as you complete them while you're on a public team. That's all the game cares about. Drink tea. Again, company tea is your friend. Get the company tea machine whenever you see it available. And if you don't have one by now, really just about like half the plants in the game will make it. If you need a good type of tea to collect, go into Hopewell Cave. You will have to kill a deathclaw and possibly a few dogs or cave crickets or mole rats that are outside of the cave, spawn cycle depending, and you'll find a bunch of firecracker berries, which can give you a tea that gives you a bonus to your crit chance, which is always good, or crit damage, one of the two. And we already talked about killing a lost right here in the cavern. Kill a restorator all over Ohio. Scrap junk to produce gold. Again, ghouls are going to be your friend on this. Appalachian Antiques is another great place to visit, or buy scrap from the vendors in and around the White Spring. And finally, scrap junk to produce screws. If you can't find bulk screws on a vendor, just keep your eyes open for fans and Assaultron heads or re-roll that one particular challenge. With all of that said, just a public plea. Don't forget to follow me over on Twitch. I haven't streamed lately. I am streaming soon. I can't do a charity stream this weekend, but I am going to do one come hell or high water around 28th or the 29th of March to support the food pantries that I support with the charity that I run in the greater Parkersburg, West Virginia area, a real place that doesn't exist on this map. All right. Thank you guys so much. You have a fantastic day, and I will see you all again soon.